anyone that does sort of follow your work will of course know you as the frontman of the horror punk I'll Be Damned. You've actually now joined London-based Beneath Dead Waves. How did that transition kind of come about for you?
It's been like a long transition, like in the making, really. It's I'll Be Damned has always been at the heart of what I did, and I did a few little things here and there, but never really kind of parted ways at all with the I'll Be Damned stuff. It was something that I've been doing since I was about 14, 15 years old, and I felt that I needed something else to kind of fulfill my other kind of musical interests.
Yeah.
So it was about, as I said, like about 6 or 7 years ago that I started doing Beneath Dead Waves originally, but it just kind of, as I'll Be Damned's life kind of faded down, this one kind of faded up, and so it was quite a neat transition really, and it came about at the right time.
Cool. So you recently, in your personal life, got married to your fiancée, Lolly. What have you been up to, obviously, since the wedding in terms of music?
So I've been working with my London band. We've been recording some records over the last about 6 years, but finally actually had a bit of time to get it together and put it all together. So I've just been getting the vocals done for that, and then I've been kind of watching the guys mix and master the album.
Well known as one of Bournemouth's amateur music personalities. Where did it kind of all begin for you? Where was your kind of start with music?
I mean, it all started when I moved here. I didn't know anyone at all. I moved here when I was about 12 years old.
Oh, right.
And I got some friends kind of a few towns away from here, and we started jamming out some punk tracks, playing some Ramones tunes and stuff like that. And then we kind of just started practicing together, and we put a band together. It was very cool.
Was that TDQM?
That was the original incarnation of TDQM, yeah. And then that kind of just progressed from there. But it all started at a house party, really. We just got together, and two guys like Motley Crue and Ramones and stuff, and we started talking about doing a band together.
Okay. So obviously, like I said, Beneath Dead Waves is primarily a London-based band. The other band members, I believe, are all based in London.
London, yeah.
So how have you kind of worked around the challenges of living in Bournemouth, having your life in Bournemouth here on the south coast, and then having a band based in London?
It's been quite difficult. I mean, we've had a lot of travelling. Obviously, the guys come down for gigs down here. I've travelled up there for band practices and things like that.
Yeah.
The writing the material, I mean, with technology nowadays, is just we just send each other stuff over
through email,
through like our Dropbox and email and stuff, and then we've just put stuff together. And it's actually the practicing that's the hardest bit, really.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting together and be able to kind of make it into like a nice, solid, tight unit.
Cool.
But we get on really well, and we talk over Facebook and things like that.
Yeah,
it works alright.
How did you meet the guys? They were school friends of yours, were they? Or?
Two of the guys, well, one of the guys was a college friend. Doug, the guitarist, was a college friend, and then I met the drummer Lee through Doug, and it was just us three for a few years. And when unfortunately I'll Be Damned was kind of like fading out, and people were kind of going from that, and I was kind of left a bit on my own for a while. It gave us a bit of time to find the other two band members, Chad and Matt. And they were up in London as well. I think they worked with Lee originally, and we just kind of all got together and it hit off. It was good.
Cool. Okay. So for anyone that hasn't yet heard Beneath Dead Waves, how would you describe your sound as a band?
I mean, it's really difficult to say. I mean, the music side of things. With I'll Be Damned, I had much more control over the music. So I took like my influences, like the horror movies and things like that, and kind of put that into horror music and horror punk. But with Beneath Dead Waves, Doug and Lee, the main contributors of the kind of writing side of things, they are really into like the thrash metal, really into stuff like Meshuggah and kind of like a lot of progressive stuff. They touch upon some kind of Gen stuff as well. So it's like there's loads of different influences. I think if I had to describe it to someone that had never heard it, I would say if you kind of took the elements of the thrash metal, you gave it a little bit of a modern twist, and then chucked like a new metal vocalist on there.
Cool. I mean, obviously, one of the gigs that you have played in Bournemouth, one of the few gigs that you have done, was a bit of a preview to some material that you're going to be releasing, I think, later this year.
That's right. Yeah, we did one gig as like a preview gig. We've only done 3 gigs altogether. The first one we thought we'd do it in the hometown where we all started, kind of thing.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, despite all of your work with Beneath the Waves, there has been a bit of activity going on with the I'll Be Damned page. Is there anything kind of coming up there? Maybe a bit of anything happening?
I can't comment too much. I got in contact recently. We've both been working together again from the original guitarist of TDQM.
Okay.
Who wrote all the songs with me when we were younger, and so we've been writing some stuff together and just jamming through the old songs from like 2004 and 2006 and stuff like that from the old His and Hers albums and stuff. So it's been really cool. There may be something coming. We're working on some stuff, and I'll keep you posted.
Sounds good. I mean, obviously you've done through TDQL, I'll Be Damned, and now Beneath the Waves. You've done loads of shows all across the UK. Do you have any kind of funny stories or any kind of funny interactions with the fan base that you have?
Goodness.
Anything you can kind of...
I'm trying to think of a funny story. There's so many. I remember we were on tour around the UK back with I'll Be Damned, with Cody and Danny and Pip, and there was Joe Crow at the time as well. And we went on tour around the UK, and we stopped at a service station, and I remember gathering, this is going to sound dodgy, I gathered a load of kids at the service station, and Danny Toxic, the bassist, had gone to the toilet, and he came back out to be bundled by about 7 small children outside the service station. So that was quite fun, and you can see that in the music video for Catch 'Em and Kill 'Em.
Okay, yeah,
It's quite funny.
Cool. So, what band are you kind of currently listening to personally? Like, what have you got going on your iPod? Or?
I'm like, because of like the metal stuff I've been doing and working with all the kind of metal. As I said, they grew up on the thrash metal. They knew more about it than I did. I mean, obviously I love Metallica and Slayer and kind of all those kind of things, but I'd never really explored music in that kind of area. Yeah. So they've been showing me loads of new stuff. I mean, I've been listening to. I'm trying to think who's the most I've listened to. Oh, it's difficult. I think I've just been kind of trawling. Yeah, I've been trawling like through all the through all like kind of the new kind of era of metal, like all the kind of deep down-tuned kind of sugary based riffs and stuff, like Periphery and things like that. Architects. Aliases is one that they showed me, and I've been listening to them quite a lot. Just I really like their stuff. So.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Last thing here really, I guess, what would you say would be your greatest achievement as a musician in the time that you've had?
I think, to be honest, I never ever thought that I'll Be Damned would gain such a following that it did. I mean, I think the most proud moment I've had is the fan base, where I've got people, kind of supporting me from like Mexico and Argentina, all the way to like Japan and Australia, and it's just like, it's such a nice feeling to create something most of the time like in my bedroom kind of thing, and for it to reach the other side of the world, and I think that's the best thing about being in a band and the achievements that I've had personally. Cool.
Well, Joey, thanks very much. Obviously, we look forward to Beneath the Waves gigs and things like that. When's the actual album material due for release?
It's coming out on the 18th of January, so it's not long. It's in about a week's time.
Yeah, cool. And what's the forum? People can be able to download it from Amazon or iTunes?
I have a feeling it's going to be on like. I think the physical stuff, like the merchandise and the physical CDs, is going to be from Bandcamp through our official website.
Yeah.
And then the actual downloadable music, I guess through like iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, things like that. But the guys sort that side of things out nowadays. I don't get much say.
Alright, yeah, well, thanks very much, Joey. Cheers.
No problem. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.